While these fine saws made by New Concepts in the USA aren't an essential part of your dovetailing kit, they certainly make things easier. They allow you to remove a large amount of waste and saw very close to the line. When you point them horizontal, they saw horizontal, which is certainly not the case with the cheaper versions. So you can see here, by sawing very close to the line, it's enabled us just to be able to then put a chisel into the gauge line and simply chop the waste out, which saves a lot of time, and it also takes away the opportunity with multiple cuts for you to bruise your baseline. So they're fast and they're accurate. But they do come in a range of different sizes and shapes and specification. So the saws are available in 3 different sizes: a 3-inch, a 5-inch and an 8-inch. They also have different methods of tensioning the blade. Here is a quick release method, which is ideal if you do lots of blade changes. But seeing as a blade lasts 6 months on here, then the standard screw tension one is fine for me. But which one you choose is your call. They're also available in 2 different material types, titanium and aircraft aluminium. The titanium is very rigid, but it's very expensive and it does add slightly to the weight. So again, that just depends, that's your call. So the other option you have is that the blade can be set at 90 degrees, like this one, or it can have an adjustable feature. So you can adjust the blade to 45 degrees and I think 22.5 degrees as well. And what this allows you to do is, if you have a particularly long board, then you can just saw along with an angle and the back of the frame doesn't get in the way. So I'll just show you that here. For me though, I prefer the horizontal blade to the angle blade, because when you're cutting, it allows you to, you've got a horizontal line and a horizontal frame, and for me, lining those 2 up allows me to get closer to the baseline than by doing the 45-degree guide. Now, capacity-wise, this 5-inch one would be ideal for doing something like this box here, and the 8-inch version would cope with my toolbox over here, just about. So capacity-wise, it's very much up to you to decide whether it's the 5, the 8, or you need really wide boards and you go for the swivel. So I'd just like to discuss with you a few tips of using these saws. First thing obviously is the blade itself. The ones I like to use are made by Pigas in Switzerland, which I think now are freely available, and the model I like is the SK7, which is a skip tooth 15 TPI, and it's aggressive enough to cut fairly quickly, but still thin enough to go down the kerf made by my 372 Japanese saw. So it's an ideal combination. Now the other thing with the blades is that you really need it quite tight. First of all, the teeth I think are best facing towards you, so that you're actually cutting on the pull stroke, which tensions the frame, and then it really needs to be quite ping tight, and then the blade isn't going to sag when you're going into the cut. Now another couple of features with these blades is that the teeth are on the central section here. So sometimes if you try to use the middle of the blade and enter the fine kerf by this saw, it can be a little bit of a struggle going down. So if you enter at the end then there are no teeth and it drops down there much more easily than it does if you try to go down where there are teeth. So that's one tip. Start at the end. And then the next thing to do is a lot of people have trouble turning the corner. And what a lot of people do is they take the blade down to the bottom and then they try to turn it. Now this is just a recipe to break the blade. What you actually need to do is when you get close to the line here, is to start the saw back and forwards without doing any turns. So you just move it back and forwards like that, and then you start to turn. So again, use the front part of the blade, drop it down, start to move it back and forwards, and turn. And that way round, nothing is a struggle. You get right down into your corner and makes the cut nice and easy. So, as I said at the beginning, not an essential part of your dovetailing kit, but once you've got one of these fine saws, you really wouldn't want to be without it.